Hello, boys and girls. It's so lovely to be with you. Well, we've been learning about putting on the whole armour of God. And today we're thinking about putting on the shield of faith. Do you remember the action? Putting on the shield of faith. Well, I have an amazing story to tell you today. And that amazing story takes place in the land of Israel, along a beautiful lake called the Sea of Galilee. The sea there is so blue, and the sun shines almost every day of the year, and it sparkles on the water. It is beautiful. There are many towns and villages around the lake, and Jesus and his disciples travelled around the lake teaching people about God. Some of the disciples were fishermen, and they knew the lake very, very well. Each day Jesus would stop at different parts of the lake, and when the people saw him, the crowds would gather to hear his teaching about God and how they should be living. On this particular day, Jesus had been teaching the men, the women, and the boys and girls, just like you, on the lakeside. And when he had finished, he said to his disciples, "Let's go across to the other side of the lake." So they got into the boat to travel to the other side. At the start of the journey, the sea was very, very calm. Jesus found a lovely, comfy pillow, and he went down to the corner of the boat, and he lay down, and he fell fast asleep. The disciples were talking among themselves about what Jesus had been teaching and enjoying their time together. When they had reached around the middle of the lake, very, very suddenly, a storm came up. The wind came right up the lake, and it brought up with it all the waves, and the waves were bouncing backwards and forwards, and the boat was tossing to and fro, and the disciples, they thought they were going to drown. They thought that the sea was going to swallow them up. The boat was going to sink, and they would be lost forever. Well, they were so frightened. And then they saw that Jesus was still asleep. So they went up to Jesus, they gave him a shake, and they said, "Do you not care whether we drown or not?" And Jesus looked at them, and he got up. And he looked at the wind, and he said, "Be quiet." And he looked at the sea, and he said, "Be still." All at once, both the wind and the waves were quiet and still. They obeyed Jesus. They obeyed all that he said. Immediately, all went calm. It was amazing. And the disciples were very much amazed. But Jesus turned to them and he said, "Where is your faith?" And the disciples looked, and they just didn't know what to say. Well, they were amazed, and then they felt very, very bad that they had not brought their shield of faith with them. They hadn't brought it. Yes, they believed in Jesus, and they believed all that Jesus was teaching. They believed he was the Son of God, and that he had power over many things, but they had never seen anything like it, that Jesus had the power over the sea and the wind. It was amazing, and they were amazed. Do you know, faith is just believing, and they had forgotten to believe that Jesus would protect them, would keep them safe, and had the power over the wind and the waves. So boys and girls, don't you forget to have your shield of faith with you wherever you are, and believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and most of all, that Jesus loves you so much and will be with you and protect you from all the evils and all the difficulties of life. He will be with you. Don't forget, boys and girls, the shield of faith goes with you all the time. God bless you.
You pop the freckles on my face, and all the fish that swim and all the birds that fly were made from your incredible imagination. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. Stripes on every bee, and all the grass that grows and all the leaves that fall, part of your amazing plans for this creation. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. A heart in everyone, and all the music played and all the dancing done reminds us that we're made to be creative like Creator God. We're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. Creator God, we're singing to the Creator God of all the world. Creator God, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you.
Hi boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us again on our YouTube channel. So I hope you've really enjoyed half term and that you're all back to school and settled in and raring to go. So you've just heard the story about the Shield of Faith. So this is our craft for tonight. So you can see that it's very simple and very easy. You might need a grown-up to help you with your spelling and some of your cutting, but it's not very hard, and we'll have a wee go now. So I'm going to flip you down and we'll make a wee start. So as you can see, this is the one that I have made. I call this my sample. So it's very simple. You can add little pom-poms all the way around it if you want, so it kind of makes your shade look like that it's got studs or some kind of like raised elements to it. This cross was made using pipe cleaners, so very, very simple. You just you can plait them just to make a cross and just to make it a bit thicker. Now these ones are yellow, obviously different one from the ones I've used again. I'm sure you all have loads of things in your crafty stashes at home, but you literally just twist them and make your cross like that, and then get another two and twist them, but this time you're going to set this into the middle like that. And then obviously you can cut them down so that these horizontal ones aren't so long. Okay, so that is just an easy way to make a cross. Okay, and then just keep on twisting them until you're happy, and then cut these bits down. And if you have some wet glue or some double-sided sticky tape, or if an adult in your house maybe has a glue gun, you could maybe stick it on with the glue gun. So this was my original shield, but this time I just thought I was going to try something a bit different. So for this one, I'm just going to move this out of the way. For this one, I decided I wanted it to look like it was metal. Now this is the shape of my shield. You do not need to have this shape. You could do a round one, and if you wanted to know how to get the perfect circle, get a help from a grown-up, because we don't want any breakages, but you could get a big dinner plate or a big circular tray and just draw around it and get your circle, and then obviously you can either try and cut it out yourself or get a grown-up or someone older than you to help. Okay, so for mine, I just wanted a traditional shield shape, and I tried something different in that I went onto the computer and I googled clip art. So googled Bible clip art, crown clip art and cross clip art, and then it gave me all these different images. I was able to select what ones I wanted, and then I printed them out. So I have actually pre-cut all mine out, and then I'm going to stick them down onto my shield. So I want the Bible, and I want the crown, and I want the cross, because these are all significant symbols that are in the Bible and that really stand out in the Bible from the very beginning to the very end. Now the only thing I wanted to maybe add was the word faith, because this is the shield of faith, so I might actually write that onto my Bible. But on your shield you can write it or paint it on anywhere that you want. So I'm just going to write faith here. Okay, because this is my shield of faith. Okay, now if this is the way that you want to do your shield, you can either stick these down flat with glue, or if a grown-up in your house has crafty things and they maybe have little foam pads, you could stick them onto the back and that will actually raise them up, but I'm just going to stick mine on with glue. Okay, another thing that you could do is you could paint your shield any colour. Now remember, shields weren't always metal, sometimes they were wooden, so you could paint it brown, especially if there's old fence paint in the house, you could maybe get it painted brown. You could use that, but always ask an adult for permission. Okay, I actually had spray paint, and that's what I spray painted mine with, because I wanted mine to look metal. Whereas the other one, I left it the same colour as the cardboard box. That meant all I had to do was decorate it. Okay, so there's my cross. And if you really wanted to go a wee bit more extravagant with it, you could spray paint it. You could stick buttons around the side and spray paint it again, and it would look like the shield has the rivets all the way around it, the way shields used to have. It just would be that wee bit more ornate and a bit more fancier. Okay, or you could get wool and do wool patterns, or cord and do cord patterns. But that is pretty much my shield. I just want it nice and simple and to be really symbolic of all the things that are special in the Bible. So I hope you have fun making yours. Again, these are some of the things that we used for our breastplate of righteousness. So that is pasta painted, just normal paper, and then painted straight on. So these are things that you can still use for your shield. I don't know if you remember, my wee doggy Copper had babies last year. Well, she actually tried to eat the pasta on this one, so that's a funny story for you. Okay, boys and girls, I really do hope you have fun making your shield. As I said, it was very quick and simple, hopefully not too time consuming for the grown-ups or the adults in your house that can help you with this project. I really do want you to think, when you're making this project, what the shield of faith really means to you, and really try and remember the story that you've been told. We have really been enjoying seeing all your breastplates of righteousness being posted into us via the email, so thank you so much for taking the time to do that. You can do the same with this project as well. Okay, boys and girls, have fun with it. Take care, and we'll see you all soon. Bye bye.